No, it's 125 this.
Pay by later.
Yep, that's fine.
Cheers.
There are lots of different ways to pay for what we buy.
Can I pay by credit card? Can I pay by cheque?
Yep, that's fine.
Cheers.
You can think of a cheque as a simple form which you use to give someone money from your bank account. Cheques from different banks look different, but as Aidan Power, marketing manager with the EBS explains, they usually have the same type of information already printed on them.
The layout of cheques can vary, but really you have a certain number of, items that are pre-printed on a cheque. One is the cheque number, and that's literally, there are so many cheques within a chequebook, and it's literally just the number of the cheque that you've actually written. The second thing is the actual account number of the person who owns the chequebook. The third item would be the account name, and that's the name of the person who actually owns the account and the chequebook.
You have to fill in certain information on the cheque yourself. When you fill in a cheque, you write the name of the person or company you're paying the money to here. The amount, €125, goes here, in numbers. The euro symbol is already on the cheque, so you don't have to write it in. If there are no cents, it's better to put a dash and 00 so that no one can add on extra numbers. You also write the amount in words, €125.
Writing only on a cheque is really another form of security for you. It's to prevent, I suppose, fraud, more so than anything else. And it also tells the bank that that is the exact amount of money that they can actually give out on the actual cheque that is handed over to them.
It's important to put in the date that you are writing the cheque, and don't forget to sign it. Another thing you can do is cross a cheque.
To cross a cheque is really a safeguard for you, and it's another form of security. There's two ways of crossing a cheque. There's a general crossing, which is just two parallel lines that go across the cheque. But you can further safeguard a cheque by actually putting account payee only. And that means the cheque can only actually be paid into the account of the person named on the cheque. It's always a good idea as well to actually fill in the stub of the cheque, and that's usually the piece that is left in the chequebook after you hand the cheque over, and that's really to keep a record for yourself that you actually paid the cheque out.
There you go.
That's great, thank you.
Cheers.
You may need to show your cheque card to show how much your bank is willing to guarantee. These days, when there are so many ways to pay, is there still a place for cheques?
No, thank you. Cheers, thanks a lot.
There is still a place for cheques today. Very often there's many examples of places that actually won't accept anything other than a cheque. For example, sometimes it's easier to pay the plumber or a builder or tradespeople, for instance, with cheques because they won't have credit card facilities to be able to accept a credit card. And it's also safer then as well in terms of carrying a chequebook around on yourself as opposed to carrying large sums of cash.
Oh, here you go.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.